Hello, hello. We are out and about. And I'm out with Julian this morning. We are heading across what I think is called Grin's Brook, which may give you a bit of a clue to where we're going, because at the moment we don't quite actually know where the route is. I'm half guessing it. We're trying to find the nab, and we're going to head up to some tricky gate. We're going to head up to Ringing Roger, which is a bit of a, I think it's a sort of like a stony outcrop. Here in the Peak District we have plenty of these stony outcrops, sort of Stanage Edge, Bamford Edge and Baslow Edge and all that. Oh yeah, I remember something saying about a field, and I've just come across a field, so that's a good start. But one thing I do know, it's a steep hill, and the other thing I do know is the weather is very changeable. We've got a bit of sunlight popping through, we've got a lot of grey, dark, thick cloud. But that's good, that means moody images. So I don't know how much footage I'm going to do going up, because if it is steep, it's going to be me and my walking stick, and that's about it. I'll chat to you in a bit. So we are on our 8th break. We've walked, I don't know, 500 yards. No, we haven't. We've walked a little way. It's a zigzag path leading up to the nab, and I'm assuming the nab's up on this top little nugget up here. The rain is just about to hit us again. You can see it coming over, but it's fleeting. We just had an amazing rainbow, which both of us couldn't get our cameras out, and that rain's coming sideways. But yeah, we couldn't get our cameras out because of the rain, because of the back. They were just on our back. So yeah, I got one on my phone, and if it works all right, if it comes out all right, I'll put it on so you can have a look, because it was really pretty over the back there. But yeah, this is going to be interesting weather, to say the least. Hard to turn between being wet from the rain and wet from sweat, so I don't know yet. I thought I'd stop quickly on this turning point when it goes back on ourselves, just to show you that that's quite possibly our path coming back down the hill over there in the distance. We're going to walk all the way along this ridge at the top, and then find the path down and lead down this one. There is another path coming down this ridge here, but I think that's the one we're going to come down, just make our way down the side of the little river. You can see from here, you can see Mamtur right up there. That's Mamtur in the distance, leading across the Great Ridge, and the little Edale Valley that we've come down through. So let's keep going. So I'm assuming, if you can hear me in this wind, this is the nab. This is a little bit that sticks out before we carry on heading up that direction into the darker clouds. But look at the beautiful light over on Mamtur. That is stunning. The little light patches of sunlight bursting through this dark, thick cloud, and my God, it's windy. It really, really is windy. This camera's not going to show how windy it is, but you might see the bag on my back flapping, but wow, yeah, this is windy. So we are on the final ascent to Ringing Roger, and it is an uphill chunk of steps. The rain has just hit us hard. Hood had to go up. Very, very, very windy. But this is what I enjoy. This is the exhilarating part. I really do love being out in these conditions. It really does get me going. The wind is insane up here, but we are right up now. We're Ringing Roger. I don't know why it's called Ringing Roger, but that's Ringing Roger, and we're going to get round the other side and hide out this wind. This last bit of path is pretty sketchy. It's not really a path, but you can see by the big bag and everything. Oh my God! You can see how windy it is, but like I said before, I love these conditions. You've just got to be really careful what you're doing. Wow, what a view. Okie dokie dokie, I found a photo I like. I'm just going to flip you around and explain why I like it. But I've just come up higher. You can see I'm stood right up next to this bit of rock now, and I'm actually stood on a little bit of a plinth. But yeah, let me just turn the camera around. So what I've got in front of me is this. See this lovely little bit of rock formation here, and these little nabs and these little creeks with all these lines and creases in it, and you've got this beautiful backdrop with all these nice green rolling hills. And you can look at the valley down there as well, it's just amazing. And we are going round the top of this, so I'm looking forward to that walk. And then just in that gap over there, you've got Mamtour and the Edale Valley Road. So yeah, I'm going to get the camera out and get a shot of this. It may even be a handheld shot, but yeah, I really like that. I think that's a fantastic little photograph. And you've even got a little bit of heather down here in the bottom corner as well. So let's get this one sorted, get it up on the screen for you, and see if I can find something else. Maybe even using these lines. Look at these lines and this rock right up in front of me. If I can use some of this, that'd be fantastic. As much as I'd like to get my tripod out and set it all up and wait for the light and things like that, it's just so windy to have the tripod left standing up, you know, unattended. So been waiting for this one. Another shot appeared. Yeah, I was going to call him Clive. I keep calling him Clive, I don't know why, but Julian climbed up a bit further, and there's a lovely little set of rocks just here leading you sort of down, and it's taking your eye down into the valley. And the light suddenly fleeted and suddenly hit these rocks in the foreground. I quickly just rushed around and went click, 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 and just took a few pictures. And I think the first one I took actually worked, but then I waited a little bit longer and the light came across the valley. So I tried to stand still and get the light coming down this valley and getting these lovely, beautiful patches of shadow and stuff coming through, and then waiting for this light, as you can see, just hitting the foreground now like that, and getting all this foreground illuminated. But I absolutely love these little pits in the rocks. Now, these have obviously been tipped over at some point, because if you look at this rock, you see this great big dimple in there where a stone's worn that away over thousands of years. And there's also another one back over here. If I'm going to take you over here and quickly show you this. There's two in the rock here, and again they're on the side, and it's just impossible to be on the side. See, like that? They're just impossible to be on the side, because obviously the stone would just fall out. So at some point this was leaning up, and the water or the wind was spinning that around. So I'm hoping to try and get that, as you can see in the shot there, I was hoping to try and get that actually as part of that image, because I really do like things like that, because it is the wonder of nature that we can never ever see happening. I'm just taking shelter behind this rock because the rain's just come in pretty hard, and there's a lot of it coming on, so I'm just literally crouched down behind this rock, just trying to stop some of this rain coming at us. Wow, that's a big shower that's just come in. The rocks here in front of me as well are fantastic. I've got this beautiful leading lines going through, and there was some really nice light back there, but I'm not sure if I managed to get the camera out in time. But hey ho, I think we're stuck in a bit of rain for now, because it's looking pretty horrendous. Woo! She's a fierce one. There are some fantastic photograph opportunities up here, but we just need that light, and at the moment the light's gone off. There's a couple of little tiny weeny bits, but this is a fantastic shot, and I've got to sort of just take a little bit of a risk to get this one because I'm coming over towards this edge, and as I stand up on this little line just here, you can see there's this fantastic photograph just here with this beautiful sweeping line going out into the valley. And if let's get back onto safety and spin you around, I can show you what it is I'm thinking of. So I'm looking at something like that with this beautiful sweep of rocks coming round, and then this bank coming down this side, but we need that bit of light over in the background. And I took a couple, but the light has gone off, and very much gone off for a big time. We are getting little patches, but there is also lots and lots of images. I mean, look at this little fella here. This is fantastic, this great little almost creature-like rock, but again we just need a little bit of something on this to make it pop out from the background. And we've got another little pool of water, and I shot that from the other way round, so I did like a vertical shot here. If I can spin the camera around, look at that, I can even spin the camera around. So I've got this vertical shot just there with this down in the foreground, which I thought was quite good. And also this, look at this for a nice foreground interest. Look at that rock there. So just move you in a little bit more. You've got this beautiful rock sort of with all these sort of lines and textures and little algae and things going on, with leading off into this background with that's Great Ridge, isn't it? I think that one at the far end is Lost Hill. I was actually there yesterday, and I'm going to put a picture up on the screen now and show you what I got. I didn't do any photography as such, but I did take a picture right up on the top of Lost Hill, looking back this way towards Mamtua and the ridge, and there's this lovely path there, and it looks so good. And this is just starting to illuminate now. Look at the way this foreground's illuminating in the mid, or the mid-ground with this here would look pretty good. So I might just quickly grab my camera while I've got this fleeting moment to get another shot of this. Well, this weather's definitely changeable. Just been up on this top part up here, having a bit of a nose, see if I can get any shots up on this bit. And I've just found an absolute corker, so I'm going to just quickly take you up there to show you, but the weather's gone off a little bit now. I was just doing a couple of time lapses as well, trying to show you how the rain's coming in and the light's moving across the hills, but I just turned around to have a look and see where you were stood up and you were gone, so you've fallen down. So I don't even know whether you saw that bit happen, but look at this for a shot. Let me just spin you around and explain this one for you, and hopefully you can see through this lens and I haven't damaged this Osmo. So yeah, we've got this beautiful pinks and purple heathers coming out now. We are in sort of towards the end of July really, so we've got these lovely heathers coming out, and we've got this 1, 2, 3 little pinnacles. If I just zoom in slightly to show you roughly what I'm getting, it's a bit more like that. So we've got these 3 sort of pinnacles of rocks there, and in the background we've got this beautiful hill line which is sort of quite prominent and standing out, and then beyond that we've got Lost Hill, I think it is, and then we've got these beautiful fantastic clouds. But what I wanted to try and do is get a little bit of light in certain places, and I wasn't quite getting that. So yeah, I think I've got a shot, and I just love the fact that I've got all these pinks and these greens in this foreground, and then the different layers going back. Really nice. And then we got another shot that I was trying to do back over this way, and again by standing on the rocks I was getting a little bit of elevation, and I was shooting sort of this lot just here, and what I was hoping, and I might be able to get another one now, and if I show you this so you can see again what it is I'm seeing. So if I zoom in, this is roughly what I'm shooting. So I'm shooting this big chunk of rock, and I think that one's actually Ringing Roger, I'm not sure, but we're up on Ringing Roger anyway. But that's a really good rock, but you can't quite get a good shot of it. But I do love this little set of algae in the foreground, because I really think that sets it off. So I'm going to put that in the foreground, then these rocks, then you've got this big cliff edge in the background, and then of course all this weather that's coming in on top of us all the time. So I would have liked a little bit of light just sticking down in this background, but it doesn't seem to be happening. But yeah, it's nice having these pinks and stuff coming out and all this nice little bit of heather. And there's our path leading off that way, which we're going to go up and round and head off around, I think, after. Thought I'd pop you back on just to report in to tell you where we are. So we've just come from down there, Ringing Roger, that little area there, and we've just missed this little pathway because it looked dodgy, and we walked around a bit further. Pathway's great up here, it's not a problem. Once you get up that steep bit at the beginning, this is quite a nice walk. But I thought I'd just report in, we're now on the rocks that we could see looking back. So now we're looking right down the valley, and we're just going to carry on heading that direction towards Kinder Scout now. Well, I just had to turn you on and show you this. Look at this strange little bit of rock sitting right up here on the top of this ridge, and we've got a hole all the way through the middle of it. How insane is that? Look at that, all the way through the other side. How mad is that? And that's all wear and tear, but it's just sitting there poking up. So I think I'm gonna have to get a shot of it, because it's just this unique little bit of rock. So yeah, another shot coming up for you. See if we can get one with some light on it and a bit of background, and we'll carry on, because we've still got a long walk. So explain my thought process on this a little bit for you. So I've taken a couple of shots, looking through sort of right up close, sort of vertical shots. Sort of, let me give you quite an idea. I sort of went for something a little bit like that as a vertical, went up higher, so the hillsides below it, and then above it, and so and so, so and so. And now I've come back this way, and what I'm trying to do now is set up sort of a bit of a frame, something like that. So I've got the rock, maybe this heather down in this bottom left hand corner, and then I've got the hillside coming up over the top in this valley. But I want some light on this background more than anything, so I'm waiting for that to happen. And there's some coming through right now over in that distance there, so if that light comes through, this should make a decent shot. This is another cracking little area as we come along. Looks like we've turned up on the beach, doesn't it, with all this nice orangey yellow sand. But look at this here for a nice foreground. You've got the light hitting it at the moment. I've just been stood here for ages waiting for the light to come rolling over these hills, so I had a little bit of light in different areas, and trying to hold the camera. I could have got the tripod out, I know I could have, but I just stood still and held it still, and I lined up the dots on the back of the screen, so I know I could just line it up in Photoshop, which is not a problem. But I've got a bit of light up on the top of that hill, got a bit of light in the valley. I've just had another shot as well, vertical, and leading through with this beautiful leading line coming off with these rock formations in the background. But stunning views. This is so beautiful up here, it really is nice. And having this bit of colour as well with the heathers, just adding it up. But this little area itself is stunning. So yep, another few images going to come up on the screen for you. Didn't explain them, I know, I just took them, but this video is obviously long enough already. But turned out to be a pretty good day so far. Now I know I've mentioned this before, but if you want to come out for a photo walk with me, or a photography workshop, you know, one-to-one tuition, you know, how to use your camera, compositions, learning techniques and stuff like that, I do little workshops. Just contact me through my website, which is Compton PDphotography.co.uk/contact, and it'll take you to my contact page where you can email me and let me know what it is you're after. I've got lots of things lined up coming up in this year so far. I've also got a Faroe Islands trip, which I might be on when this video goes out. And again, I'm doing a Faroe Islands 2024, somewhere around March or April. Again, if you're interested in that, go to the website, Paul Compton, pdphotography.co.uk/Compton/contact mind. And yeah, let me know if you're interested, because I'll put your name down in a list. I've already got 3 people. If I can just fill it up, I need another 2 more people. We'll be going to the Faroe Islands next year as well. So yeah, something to be thinking about. Right, so I'm just come across some more rocks, and these rocks down here are fantastic. They really do lend themselves to a photograph. All I need now is waiting for some light in the background, but there's some beautiful ripples, some beautiful shapes, and the way they're left just sticking up on like little pinnacles are just absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love the rocks here in the Peak District. If you don't come to the Peak District and look at these sort of things, why not? You've really got to come out and have a look. And to be honest, we've had some cracking weather today, so we've had a really good bit of light. The sky is fantastic, so I'm thinking these photographs are coming out pretty moody and pretty texturous when you see them on the screen. I'm getting to the end of this video now. I know it's been a bit of a long one, but we're getting close to making our way back down, so I think I'll be pulling this out and ending it very soon. But I haven't finished yet. I do need to get some pictures of these rocks, and I've just got to wait for the light to come across. So waiting for this light is really taking its time. I've changed my composition. I've come down here now. I'm going for a vertical because I've got some pink heathers in the foreground, but trying to get the light on these hills where we need it behind it is just waiting for, well, it just seems to be waiting forever and ever. I've just had some Scotch egg and I've just moved around and I'm just waiting. I really want to take this shot with a little bit of light on it, and it's in the far distance, but it's just not catching the hills behind these rocks. Our composition, we go vertical for you, there we go. So my composition is something like this. What I'm trying to do is get this nice little section of pink heather down here, and then this big boulder, and the one on the right hand side with all these stripes and lines and the way it's sitting on here. But I want to get the hillside, and we're going right to the top of this. I'm going to finish the video up on the top of that when I get round there. But yeah, we've got to wait for a bit of light to catch this, and we've got light down there in the valley, but we've got no light on the side of this. And if I put the image up next to this footage next to you, you'll see the image I've taken already with that, but I just need something to make this bang and come alive. That, I think, was well worth the wait. It took ages and ages for the light to come in, and when the light came in, it came in all of a sudden, and voila, we had light everywhere. So it was a quick manic panic to take lots of images. So you've seen the image before and after with the light. We also move around, and the rocks then, as you move around, look absolutely fantastic. So I managed to fill my boots and take a few more images. When I'm out, I like to take as many images as I can because I just love taking photographs, and it's all better for me because I much prefer to see lots of different ones rather than just this one image that you get back and you tend to forget all the other memories. So yeah, get as many as you can, and looking at these rocks are just absolutely fantastic. Right, it's time for a walk. We need to get some miles done. Well, we are not getting very far. We've had to stop and get the cameras out again. Mine's actually on my capture clip, but Julian wanted to get a couple of shots of this up here because it's just amazing. Now, I spotted another face in the rocks. You're going to see a bit of B-roll coming up. I want to know whether you can see it. I'm not going to tell you where it is, but it is one of the best face creatures climbing out the rocks I've ever seen. It's absolutely amazing. The rocks themselves are just fascinating with all these little round holes and little pockets that have been worn away, but what an absolutely awesome place this is. And we've still got to get right up the top over there, so yeah, I'll see you there. It's a long one. We are finally nearly at our final location before the drop down, or the burnout, or whatever you want to call it. We've probably done, I don't know, we've done in the region of about 10,000 steps so far, which I think is about 5 miles, maybe 4.5 miles, which isn't bad considering we haven't had any flat surface. In fact, the most flattest part has been this little bit here that we're on now. But yeah, we've just literally got to get to the little top of that bit, and it's all downhill back to the car and coffee and whatever else I can get down me. Now, just taking a couple of photographs just as we got to the top. We watched a few people scrambling up the river, and it was definitely a scramble coming up there. Maybe I'll challenge myself one day for that, with lighter gear. And we noticed some more rock formations. I'm going to put the pictures up on the screen, or maybe even the B-roll overlay in this, and I want you to tell me what you can see. Yes, one of them is quite obvious, but the other one's not as obvious, but I spotted it straight away, and Julian could see it as well. It is definitely a figure, and if you can put it in the comments and let me know what it is, I'll be well impressed if you think it's the same as what I thought it was. But it's an amazing piece of rock, and it's natural, it's all natural. No one's actually carved it and made it. It's just amazing. Right, I'll speak to the top of this bit. I'm out of breath again. That's it, we're at the top. I'm just gonna have a little look. Now I stood on sort of canny bit. I'm just gonna have a little look off the edge and just check the path out on the way down. Oh, and just get out the wind as well. And yeah, I think I'm gonna say goodbye once I have a look over this edge. It's been a good day out. I've really enjoyed it. Thoroughly got blasted away, windswept. Look at that for a view. Looking all the way back down, you've got Mamtur, Great Ridge, the Lone Tree down there. You've got Loose Hill, you've got Win Hill, Lady Bells down in the dip in the background there. You've got Bamford Edge, Stanage Edge you can see out there as well. What an absolute fantastic view that is. So the path is here. You can see it down in front of us. We'll head down there to the village and we're done. So please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you don't follow me, it's really worth following, even if it's not, oh, I'm stuck, even if it's not for the photography and it's more for locations and places, because I do get to quite a few. Today's been an absolute blast. I think Julian's enjoyed it as well, even though he's tired. And yeah, till next time, ciao for now, see you soon, and enjoy any more photographs I've got left over. Ta-da. God, you had hair when you started.